Peace. You gonna let the room fill up a little bit more? Peace, peace, peace. Islam. I'm gonna try to clear this picture up for y'all. I don't know what's going on with this computer. It's clear on my end, but then it's all blurry on this end. Peace, peace, peace. How y'all doing? All right, we're gonna get it popping tonight. It's gonna be short and sweet. All right, real short and sweet, but we're gonna get into the information hard. Tell me y'all can hear me or not. Can y'all hear me? Am I clear? I don't know what's going on in this video. All right, all right. All right, peace, 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 peace. We're gonna get it popping. Just hold on a second. I gotta clear up that screen, y'all. Man, it looks atrocious. For real. All right. Y'all gave me real good. All clear. All right, how the picture looking to y'all? Cause for some reason it's clear on my end, but then when I look at it on YouTube, I mean it's fuzzy. Okay, okay. What about the picture? It's clear? Good sound, but fuzzy looking. That's what I thought. All right, it's fuzzy. All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. All right, let me go to analytics or something here right quick, cause I can't do another night with this fuzziness here. We already did a video like this Last night was Sinetta and that joint was fuzzy and I don't even know why. And it shouldn't be, not from this computer anyway, when it's been clear pictures all the time and videos. Let me see what's going on, y'all. All right, peace, yo, peace. Talking to everybody that's coming in. Greetings. Islam, assalamu alaikum, Yahuru, Black Power, Sutek, Islam, Alafia, Robak. All right, back to peace. All right, so, um, hmm. Sound is good, but the picture is crappy. There's fuzziness. I don't know what's going on with that. And see, if I try to show the pics, then it's gonna be fuzzy too. You know what I mean? So what I'm gonna have to do, y'all, I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna go out and come right back. I'm gonna try to fix this fuzziness. All right, so try to hang with us. You know what I'm saying? We get this fuzziness right here. Okay? I ain't going out. Just hang with us. I might be able to get it from the settings. I don't even have to go out. So hold on. Hold on with the guard. You know what I'm saying? All right, so yeah, let's go to system. Brightness is on. Recommended. Yeah, that's recommended. All right, that's the only thing that it was there. Hmm. All right, let me look at it one more time here. All right, y'all. Tell me if it looks any better now. All right. All right, let me look at it. Let's look at it. Somebody's okay, but nah, it's not okay. Okay, it's lower than the recommended joint. So let's see what's going on. Same quality. You sound good. Screen is fuzzy though. All right. Mm, all right, how that look, Shaw? Do that look any better? It's chopped and screwed now. Nah, the same. Damn. All right. I have to get on another computer, y'all. All right, so um hey, what about the same quality? Try switching screens. Okay. Let's see that. Let's see. Hmm. Hmm. All right, all right. So let me get a my other computer and plug it in and we get it popping. All right, we're getting ready to pop it off. Just give me a few seconds here. All right. All right, y'all. I'm going out of this one, and we're gonna pull it up on the other one. All right. Can y'all see me now? Oh shit. All right. Can y'all see me now? And also, if am I loud? I'm loud enough. A word on the money. All right. All right. So let's get into the joint. What I'm talking about. Always some damn technical difficulties. You know what I mean? But we're gonna try to get it in as usual. And you know how we do. All right, we want to thank everybody that got a chance to super chat to us yesterday for that Sonnet Alive joint. You know what you'll think about, the information that was dropped. You know, wasn't trying to focus on the youngin, but we wanted to make sure that that what Bobby taught was clear. That he wasn't teaching bullshit, but he was right on point according to the information and according to the books in which that I've read, Brother Panic read, Bobby read, Phil read, and many different ones have information trying to show people that this is more than just um, historical, literal information. You know what I mean? So, okay. You said if I can find this USB cam, all right. So you try to send it to me. Okay, word. Appreciate that, God. Yeah, cause they messing with us. YouTube don't want to monetize the joints. None of that. They really are tripping. Right now. The joint that we did yesterday, it was called originally it was called Lucifer, Satan, and the Origin of Baphomet. Changed the whole name of that joint to just Fire 2, TOO, as in part two to the fire joint that we did last week. They won't even monetize that. So we done changed the name again to the True Light Teachings. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if they'll monetize that. So, this is the way that YouTube is tripping right now. They it's like we got to damn do one words, one word type of thing, and this is ridiculous. Now I see why they don't have a phone number, because they be getting so many goddamn complaints to be ridiculous. Now what company do you know that only had that don't have a damn phone number that you can, or a damn operator, or someone that you can speak with after hours in order to help, who do computer shit. Everybody know that, back in the days, you was able to, call, somebody that knew something about, about this information, as far as this computers are concerned. But not now, no, YouTube don't have a phone number, openly, publicly like that, So, that's the craziness about it, right? On low priority bandwidth. Okay, I'm gonna try to do that. Okay, they can't stop the Ethernet, but we tried the Ethernet last night and last week when we did it with Sinetta. Um, the first joint I did on Freemasonry was Sinetta last week, and yesterday we tried the Ethernet, and for some reason it's not functioning properly in either of our computers. None of them. You know what I mean? So it's some craziness going on with this computer. Is Mercury back in retrograde again? Because god damn, it seemed like it. You know what I mean? Definitely seems like it. You know. All right, the pics are still coming up, y'all. So I'm trying to get it. All right. So we're gonna try to present. All right, tell me, y'all can see the joint when I pull it up. Hopefully y'all can. All right, can y'all see the screen, y'all? Oh yeah, the people on side of the channel definitely don't understand. They're used to the debating and the mundane, historical, just literal interpretation of the Bible, with the Hebrews and different other ones like that. But when you get into metaphysics, the occult, real esoteric science, they fall off. They don't know what the hell to do. With all that information we was dropping from various books, I know we did at least 8 religions, and we tied all those religions back into how it identified with the physical body in some shape, form, or fashion. You know what I mean? But the problem is people understanding their their comprehension skills are very lacking. They are poor, right? They poor as far as that is concerned. As far as their comprehension skills. And see, this is for advanced people. The information that we teach is for the advanced. We're not playing. These for those who've already studied Bobby, Phil, Panic, and now, let's put this shit together. Let's put this information together and see how it ties on. Let's see, how all of this correlates. That's what this is about. You know, we're looking at our people who are now into the Google age. So all the information comes straight off of Google. They don't read any books, as if Google has all the connection points, which it doesn't. But Google is good when it's like the icing on top of cake type of shit. That's Google. You know what I'm saying? But as far as putting that information together and getting those ingredients, that's the books, library. And these younger cats don't know nothing about a library. They don't know nothing about books. Everything is straight off of Google. They'll do a whole fucking class off of Google itself. Right? You know what I mean? They do a whole class off of that. Go straight to Google, put that shit in while they damn supposed to be teaching you, and go straight into the whole lecture, the whole discussion, straight from Google, and think that they are teaching you something as if they have some profound knowledge and information. That's not what this is supposed to be about. Like I said, Google is like the icing on top of the cake. You know what I'm saying? Is after you already got all the batter and the ingredients, all that shit together, which is the books, the various books coming from anthropology, archaeology, biology, the religions of Shintoism, Taoism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, African religions such as the Congo rites, such as Voodoo, Ifa or Khan, Yoruba. When we talk about the Congo, we talk about the various Palos, Palo Mayambe and the various other Palos, so all of this, when you get all of this information, that's the ingredients, that's that cake going, oh shit, that's what we talking about, quantum physics, astrophysics. We talking about all of that shit coming together. Oh shit, now you baking that motherfucking cake and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then you go to Google and see if there's anything in which that you miss and add that fucking icing on top. You know what I'm saying? Niggas go straight to Wikipedia, straight to Google, and that's it. No, that shit is just that's confirmation. The Google shit is just confirmation of all the shit in which that you've studied and read in books, articles, newspapers, pamphlets, booklets. After you put all that shit together, now you go to Google or Wikipedia or something like that and see if there's something in which that that you've missed or that you can add on in order to make it even more clearer. You see what I'm saying? So this is the real shit, of what we're talking about here. And the average cat, that's trying to teach and come out on YouTube don't have it. But yet they act like they teaching something very deep. And really, they stole information from myself, Bobby, Phil, Panic, Dr. Deborah Blair, Dr. York, and then took that shit, made it a hodgepodge of information and shit and got on there and used Google in order to verify that what they saying is right and exact in some shape, form, or fashion. But when I go over the blood type information alone, what I'm saying? That shit is so goddamn confusing. The doctors and the scientists don't know what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like Albert and Costello. Who's on first? What's on second? Type of shit. In the biology, chemistry, genetics fields when it comes to the blood and the blood types. So everybody was on YouTube talking about the blood types. And I pop up with this information in which kills all of that bullshit about O negative being the original blood type. You know what I'm saying? And what they mean by original blood type, they're talking about O negative blood is the original blood type in the ABO group. The ABO group. You know what I mean? So that is the original within the ABO blood group. However, it's not the original blood type, which is U negative blood type, in which that the pygmies have. And according to the ancient Egyptians, the pygmies were the first people on the fucking planet. Right? They were the first people. So this is according to anthropologists, archaeologists, paleontologists. They know. The ancient Egyptians, Kemites already verified that shit for us. They already told us what was up, who was the first. They refer to them as the best people, BES. You know what I mean? That's what they refer to them as. To them as. You know? Right? All right, so let's get to the next discussion. You know, yeah, right. You negative blood, right? I forgot about you. Oh, it's all right on God's self. You know what I mean? But I'm the one that brought that to the public as far as that information. So when you hear Negroes try to now go back and redeem themselves, after they've been talking just A, B, and O blood types, and been saying that O is the oldest blood type. It dates back, just 250,000 to 300,000 years ago, which is true. However, U blood type, which is U negative, dates back much further than the ABO blood types. And I'm going to get into that information real soon. And we're going to go deep into the blood types and the origin of life on this planet, who's who on planet Earth type of shit. All right. And I mean, we're going to crush all of the nonsense that's been put out. Europeans talking about, AB negative. Returning with AB blood type, because according to them, the Shroud of Turin was the blood type of AB negative. This is what's going on, y'all. Do you know that water can change the composition of your blood? It can change your blood type, but not your RH factor, whether it's RH negative or RH positive. The water can't do that. But Kangen water and various other waters can actually change your blood type. My blood type, when I first took my blood test, was O positive. Then the shit went to AB positive. That damn Kangen water, yo. You know what I'm saying? So water, which of course 75% of your body is water, 90% of your blood is water. So your blood type can change based on the water. So this is why we're going to go into this water information tonight. And so we're going to start with Nikola Tesla, his interview, which was banned for 116 years. And some say will blow your mind, but this is what he says. He says the particles of light are written notes. Written notes. Obviously, these notes correlates to your DNA. Because remember, your DNA is the book written within based on the book of Revelations, as I went over last night. So it says a bolt of lightning can be an entire serenade or sonata, excuse me. 1,000 balls of lightning is a concert. For this concert, I have created a ball lightning which can be heard on the icy peaks of the Himalayas. About Pythagoras and mathematics, a scientist may not and must not infringe of the two. Numbers and equations are signs that marks the music of spheres. If Einstein had heard these sounds, he would not have created theories of relativity. These sounds are the messages to the mind that life has meaning, that the universe exists in perfect harmony, and its beauty is the cause and effect of creation. This music is the eternal cycle of stellar heavens. Now that's some deep shit. That is deep. You know what I'm saying? That is deep. Now, since these notes are playing with us, these notes actually is talking about what he's talking about is prana energy, external DNA, and how it correlates to the internal DNA. And how does that happen? Well, get the book Blackout Through Whitewash by Dr. Suzar. She breaks down how the hair really antennas, which can receive and transmit energy. Here's the receiver and the transmitter of divine emanations that it makes you receptive to spiritual forces. Right? Saints and sages instinctively let their hair grow. That's unless they've gone through the Shaolin temple, in which that they shave their hair all on the body as a form of purification. The Rastafarians regard dreadlocks or locks as a quality of said black people, Moors. They regard dreadlocks as high tension wires which transmit divine energy and inspiration from Jah, all right, Yah or God, the creator, or Yahweh. Yahweh, as we broke down before, is your DNA. That is the God within your body, is Yahweh, Jehovah, Yah, Jah, Jah Rastafari. That is your creator, which is your DNA. And to the Rasta, the mirror. It's the mirror. Because within our bodies, which is the temple of God, our head symbolizes the Holy of Holies. It is the highest point, while our hair is natural crown. Is like the spiral of a church or a vertical connection with God, representing our strength. It forms an antenna through which the spiral or spiritual force may descend. So we receive through the hair on our face, for the brothers, the mustache, the beards, hair on our head, hair on our arms, legs. Same thing with the women, with the hair on the body. We receive this spiritual force that descends. It's called prana energy, chi energy, or ki energy. The Christians refer to it as the Holy Spirit or spiritual force, rather than descend while spiral like spiraling hair. Since nature or nature does nothing without a reason, what is the purpose and effect of the spiral hair? Now understand is that when we look at the TV screen from back in the days, all right, this before the cable and before remote control, y'all got to go back to when y'all was little kids now. The old TVs was analog TVs before Obama came into office in 2009. Right? Y'all remember that? They was analog, not digital. That's when they come with this smart TV and the plasma TVs that can look inside your home and look and see what you're doing at the same time you watching it. It's watching you. You know what I mean? So let's look at it. Old TV, you had straight ears, which is called rabbit ears antennas, which was straight. They control channel 2 to channel 13. These was your primary channels. but they only was in the range or frequency of VHF, which is very high frequency. Right? Now, there was another antenna on the back. It was known as the Ohm antenna. OHM. Ohm. Now, is that a coincidence that the Buddhist monks, Shaolin monks, Taoist monks, the yogi practitioners, the Shinto monks, the Tibetan, Himalayan monks, that they all chant Om, Om. Is that a coincidence? No, because we find that within the Vedic Sanskrit text, it speaks of the Om, O-M, just like the antenna is called OHM, symbolize the Alpha and Omega, or in this sense, the Omega symbol, which that's how that antenna looked on the back of the TV, which was called UHF, ultra high frequency, which was higher than VHF, which is very high frequency. So those were straight hair, like the Europeans, Asians. They was able to pick up the frequencies like the straight rabbit ear antennas. You get it? However, the tap into channel U, which is ultra high frequency, which gave you channel 14 to 83, which symbolized your cable back in the days, it was shaped in a circle or in the symbol of the Om symbol from the Greek, but that Om symbol from the Greek, which symbolizes the ending, also symbolized the Shin, which is S-H-E-N, from the Orient. Shin means spirit. But that word in the Orient traveled from out of ancient Egypt because the Egyptians or Kemites or Temerians also had the symbol and the word Shin, which is what you would see when Osset transformed herself into the bird and she lit herself over top of the phallus that was molded in shape of clay by Tahuti for Osiris or Osar. And she flapped her wings so hard, but what she was holding in her claws was the Shin symbol, which symbolized spirit. So that means the sperm symbolized spirit. As we know, it's the sperm in which that produces male or female. It controls the gender factor. In fact, the sperm, as it enters into the egg, is actually entering into its new body. And the sperm becomes what we call the spinal column, because the spine is shaped just like the sperm, a snake. See, this is why when we get onto the serpent information, you got to put all that scary Christian shit away. I know what you've been inundated with. Hell, I was there too. But I ain't no motherfucking fool. When I start damn studying and getting this information, it was time to put the play shit to the past. The parables, the allegories, the metaphors. I had to find out what the fuck that shit meant. I couldn't keep believing as a goddamn slave of religion. And they have turned all of these so-called religions, which was actually meant to be esoteric, into degraded exoteric forms and made everyone surface dwellers, even those within the African religions. Some don't know that Obatala is the crown chakra. Ishu Elegba is the root chakra.
And they are called the 7 African powers, which is based on your endocrine glands or your chakra system. You have some jackasses saying that there are no chakras. That's how you know them motherfuckers going straight to hell. In other words, these are earthbound motherfuckers. Earthbound. Ghosts walking the fucking earth, plaguing motherfuckers. That's what they are. And that's because they don't believe in nothing spiritual. Motherfuckers atheists. What the fuck is that? You don't believe in God? With all this fucking energy around you? With your ability to formulate images, visualization methods in your mind, in your mind's eye? And that's not God. All the ancients tell us that God dwells in the Holy of Holies. All of them tell us that. But because we're looking at it with external eyes, thinking that shit is literal, historical, and we religify it, we anthropomorphize the characters of the Bible into human form, and then start trying to explain that shit and sound deep. Oh yeah, man, yo, Adam and Eve, yo, they was eating that fruit, yo, the serpent came up, yo, you know what I'm saying, yo, what we find out, yo, is that, yo, the fruit was a pomegranate. Wow, that shit sound fucking deep, don't it? A pomegranate, wow. What the fuck is that going to do for you? Oh yeah, no doubt, Papa. Exactly. I know folks don't understand. They all confused, you know, and you don't have to subscribe to a religion, you know, even though you are the religion, because religion sound very similar to realign, and you ought to realign your chakras, you know, or tie back to, because that's what religion, which comes from the Latin word religo, which means to bind or tie back. We ought to practice yoga or yoke, which is Semitawi, which means to unify, the union, hence the tie, the lower self to the higher self. We are practicing religion. That's the highest form of religion. But the word atheist, you know, hell, they can be an agnostic, at least with an agnostic, they skeptical, but still there's a chance for the belief in it. But an atheist, oh no. Oh no. They don't even believe in the energy that is around them, as if they can explain air currents. As if they believe and explain the breath of life. Why is the breath within you, and why does it make the body live? What is the specialty of the breath of life? You see, this goes back to what Professor Walter Williams was talking about. Not only was there never a man by the name of Jesus Christ that ever walked the planet Earth in any shape, form, or fashion, in any era, decade, or millennium, there never was a Muhammad either. And I'll get into that information. See, these are titles: Christ, Muhammad, Melchizedek. All of this is titles of your perfection. Christ will be this sixth chakra, the third eye, pituitary gland, the crown chakra, which the Nibiru, or that galaxy-like cloud that I showed last night that sits above the pineal gland, symbolizes the crown chakra. That is the eye of Heru, Horus. And that symbolizes Muhammad, the last seal of the prophets. Then the seat that's above Muhammad is Melchizedek. Michael, he who dares to be like God. See, this is the esoteric principles behind what we're reading. But we missed the whole point. Oh, yeah, Solomon. Oh, yeah, exactly. All of this is a problem. Oh, yeah, yeah. Atheists, right, against is exactly. That's what it means, Papa. No doubt, you know, and it means against the belief of God or against God in the sense of existence, but yet they can't explain why they exist. That's what gets me. So there's no such thing as an atheist for a melanated person. That's crazy. That's crazy. Indeed, fire and water equals spirit. Akasha. Spirit is known as the breath. Breath is spirit. Look it up. Simple. Fire and water is hydrogen. Hydro is water, gen is fire. So hydrogen, which is the first element and the only element, is prana. That's pranic energy. Hydrogen, the back and forth of oxygen is hydrogen. Oxygen is air and fire. That's hence oxygen. You get it? Air and fire, oxygen, which symbolizes the breath of life inside of you. That's the 888. Oxygen has 8 protons, 8 neutrons, 8 electrons. Aleister Crowley said that 888 was the name numeral value for Jesus. We've broken this down before. Oh yeah, you can link the Greek gods to the Hindu gods. You can link all of them to the Egyptian deities, Netchers, no doubt. You can link them to Yoruba, the Vudan, Akan, which is Ifa, the Congo, right? You can link them to all world religions, whether they come out of Africa, Asia, or here within the Americas. The Europe, as far as Europeans, they never, is number one, is not a continent. They never brought any high science of their own. There's science that they have, which was only 3 degrees of a 9-degree system coming from out of ancient Kemet, was given to them by the Moors. And that was only to civilize them so that they can have some type of, to be civil. All right, so what we're seeing here is the reason why they had to change the analog TVs to the digital TVs, because they did away with the antennas, in which that would have gave the clues away that you are a higher frequency being, that you are able to tap into ultra high frequencies, not very high frequencies, but ultra high frequencies. Okay. And the sound in which that you naturally already have, because your hair curls in that same pattern as a shin or the omega symbol, because you represent the ending. This is why they keep talking about, the end of times, the end of times. That's you. That's a metaphor for you. You are the end of times. As a people, your hair curls into the omega symbol, which symbolizes the O or OM, omega, or the men of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. And we know that the feminine aspect of OM is AUM. So when they chant as straight hair beings, the Om symbol, they are able to tap into some of the frequencies in which that you can pick up naturally with no problem. If your melanin is clean. See, melanin has its own DNA. And you have to cleanse your melanin. And you do that with vitamin B, B12, B6, B2, B3, B1, what is known as vitamin B complex. You also do it with vitamin D. You have to take at least 50 to 60,000 IUs of vitamin D or get your ass out in the sun for at least 1 to 3 hours daily so that these frequencies can bombard you. See, does hair antennas possess accelerator properties? It accelerates you. An accelerator is a device used by physicists or physicians, to accelerate change or charge subatomic particles or nuclei to high energies useful for research. Two common types are the linear accelerator and the cyclotron, right? The linear type accelerates in a straight path that may be as long as 2 miles, while the cyclotron accelerates subatomic particles in a spiral pattern. See, there go that straight and spiral again. Theoretically, energy being picked up by the antenna of the hair would be accelerated in a spiral or a straight path depending on the type of hair. Oh shit, see, very high frequency, ultra high frequency. You see? Indeed, Ezekiel, and no doubt. So, throughout nature, spiraling energy such as whirlpools, eddies, tornadoes manifest great speed. Water goes down the drain while spiral down the drain, picking up so much speed that in the process that it becomes a suction. Energy flowing through spiral hair might also pick up extra speed, enhancing hair antenna's ability or even giving its new properties. All right, so what we find out according to Dr. Leonard Horowitz, right? He says this, that the primary function of DNA is electromagnetic reception. So that means that DNA is meant for you to receive electromagnetic energy and transmission. Less than 10% of the DNA functions involve protein manufacture. More than 90% function in the realm of bioacoustic and bioelectric signaling. Now, hold up, that's deep. Bioacoustics, that means by utilizing sound, you can change DNA. You can awaken what they call junk DNA, which is 90% dormant, while the act of encoding DNA is 10%. Just like man can not see 90% of the universe, which is black matter and dark energy, but he can see 10%, which is this visible spectrum. Just like the average person, when you use 10% of their brain, the other 90% is dormant. We are the creators of this galaxy. From the implosion of Sirius B is how our sun came into effect, and our raging sun in its early days cast off plasma, which became later on, which are also part of the sun, hence stars. And as they got trapped in orbit, slowed down, in which that formed our planets. Earth at one time was a sun, or as we would say, a star. Hence the reason why 93% of our bodies is stardust material. And the reason why we can also take in prana, which is called stardust material, hydrogen, negative ions, into our bodies and transform it into food. We can absorb light like we are light vampires. We are luminous, just like the eel that glows, the firefly that glows. We have these capabilities. All right. Yes, this is what the whole story about Samson and his hair, his 7 locks, symbolic to the 7 rays or the 7 chakras. Once again, the 7 churches, the 7 Elohims, the 7 archangels, 7 endocrine glands, the 7 seals or chakra or churches, the 7 churches, the 7 candlesticks, the 7 stars. All of this mentioned in the book of Revelations and mentioned throughout all of the ancient religions as the 7 African powers. In the African religions as the 7 African powers. You go to Yoruba, they tell you about the 7 African powers. You go to Khanifa, they tell you about the 7 African powers. You go to the Congo, they tell you about the 7 African powers. You go to the Voodoo in Haiti, they tell you about the 7 African powers. Everybody know about the 7 African powers. You go to Santeria, they'll tell you about the 7 African powers, which are known as the Orishas. The word Ori, O-R-I, means the mind. Ori means the mind. And how the mind, the pineal gland, which is the mind's eye in particular, acts as a step-down transformer of electromagnetic energy. And it passes this energy from the pineal gland to the pituitary gland, to the thyroid, parathyroid glands, into the thymus gland, into the spleen, pancreas, into the adrenal glands, down into the prostate and testes for the man, or uterus and the ovaries for the woman. These are the 7 major endocrine glands in our bodies. The 7 Elohims, the 7 Orishas or 7 African powers. This is told to us over and over again in the various religions, but we keep religifying the esoteric and miss the whole fucking point. And this is the problem. They say that what we're talking about is pseudo. But yet, everything in quantum physics that they're talking about now comes from metaphysics. This is why they had to create a whole fucking new science called quantum physics. Because physics wasn't teaching the information properly. Physics had you believing that there was a state called inertia, which means there was a stopping point. Quantum physics tell you that there's no state called inertia. There's never been a stopping point. There's always been movement and always will be movement. Just like the tick and the tock between a clock. Phosphorus is Lucifer. In fact, if you look up phosphorus and you look up Lucifer, you will find that they're very similar. The word phosphorus actually means that it's a reflective material in which that helps with the light production within the body, hence to make you luminous. Oh, I know that, brother Darius. I know only high-powered minds can pick this shit up. That's why I do what I do. And this is why you don't see a lot of people on this channel. You know, hell, I can call all of y'all my family because most of y'all are the same brothers and sisters that comes whenever I tune in, whenever I get on YouTube or Google Hangout. Y'all there with us. You know, just call your family. You know, it's not like I get new people all the time. You know, because the thing is that this information is knowledge person head, just like it was last night on Sonetters. And I purposely did that so that not only the youngin can't come back, and if he says something, then he would have to go into his lower self and prove what I was saying was correct about the lower self. But to come back and try to say something on a higher self in order to defeat what I was saying last night, that shit is impossible. That shit is impossible. Because we gave scholarship. That's why we gave you the books. We gave you the authors. We showed you what they said. But see, most people would say, well, you didn't come with the scholarship because they missed all the meat in between. This is the comprehension level that we're talking about for our people. Very poor. Very poor. And detrimental. It is imperative that we get our knowledge up, our wisdom, our understanding. That's 120, 120, 120, which is 360. We got to get that up. Seriously. The average person isn't even working with 120. That's what we noticing, even on channels in which that they claim is conscious. There's a gay dude out now talking about conscious TV. Yeah, that's what he calls it, conscious TV. And he's gay. But he do talk about the issues. Ain't that some shit? See, this is what Bobby was talking about. So May comes out with the book talking about the gay gatekeepers. And here they are coming out talking about conscious TV. I couldn't watch it. I was like, what the hell is this? But it seemed like a man can't and don't get hits unless he put on a fucking wig and sound like a woman. Or try to sound like a woman, rather. Then they get all the hits in the world. And there's no disrespect to the gay community. This is just a simple fact that there is some bias. Things are being biased, very biased nowadays. And for those that are heterosexual, it's as if we have to defend ourselves for being such. You know what I mean? Yeah, I couldn't watch it either, Self. But I seen probably about maybe 10 seconds of it, and I was like, what the hell is this? And then I seen, and she said, whatever you want to call it, that it was conscious TV. So this is what we are, this is what we're dealing with. And so this is what we was talking about, is that it was a belief that Bobby was pushing agenda. Bobby was trying to tell us that ultimately we have to put the body down. And by putting the body down, that means all the things in which that the body can do and does and has done on this physical realm or in this physical planet. And this is all Bobby was talking about. You're talking about the ultimate level. The ultimate level, when you about to perish, leave the physical body, you're not thinking about none of that shit. You're not thinking about none of that. All right, peace. You know what I mean? So your mind isn't even on, the ways or the things of the world, because you realize that you're going to another world or somewhere else. So your whole ideology changes. And so Bobby was saying, well, you might as well change it now, die now before you die, so that when you die, you won't have to die. That's an old KRS-One lyric right there. Y'all don't know nothing about that. That's old school. But what he was saying is that you have to die to the ways of the world right now. Detach yourself from the ways of the world, from this materialistic world. And you can focus your attentions upon the spiritual, at least for a time. I recommend that you keep one foot in heaven and one foot on earth. In other words, utilize the material because you are in the physical body. It makes sense. But also focus your attentions to the spiritual, which is the science of breath. It's the breath, you know what I'm saying, in which that is able to give you the ability in order to go into different states of consciousness. It's the breath that takes you through the 7 orishas or Elohims or endocrine glands. It takes you through all 7 of them. So here it is, Bruce Lipton, in his book, The Biology of Belief, he promotes the idea that genes and DNA can be manipulated. Remember, we just finished saying that 90%, remember, we just showed you right here, 90% functions in the realm of bioacoustics and bioelectric signaling. So that means sound, living sound. Bio means life. Acoustic means sound. Life sound, living sound. So Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton, he speaks about epigenetics and state that we are not controlled by genes like computer programs are controlled by codes. This is a fallacy propagated by Darwinists, all right, for almost 2 centuries. And genes are a biological tendency for expression. In other words, it's an influence, but it doesn't have to be. So you have negative influences, but it don't have to come to expression unless something happens in which that causes it to. Changing our state of consciousness, oh, there it is. What changes the state of consciousness? It's the breath. Remember, I gave you the science on that. By slowing down your breath, you tap into different levels of consciousness. The average person breathes 18 breaths a minute. You slow that down to, let's say, 9 breaths a minute. You tap from interpersonal consciousness into intrapersonal consciousness. You want to go into life consciousness, then you go down to 7.5 breaths a minute. You want to go to subconsciousness, then you go to 6 breaths a minute. You want to go into super consciousness, then you go to 4.5 breaths a minute. You go to magnetic consciousness, then you go to 3 breaths a minute. Then eventually you learn how to do 1 breath a minute, which is infinite consciousness. And that's when you see the face of God. If you're able to do it for 72 minutes, which is 1 hour and 12 minutes. You see? And see, this is the shit that's not being taught. The most important shit is the most overlooked shit, the breath of life. Niggas can do it every day, though. 24 hours, in a 24-hour span, they breathe 25,920 times, which is equivalent to us being under the zodiac. Hence the reason why the stars or the zodiac has the influences upon us. It's because we breathe at the same rate as the sun travels through the 12 zodiac signs, which is 25,920 years. Oh yeah, oh yeah. See, this is what happens, when you put this shit together. This is what's going on. So he says that Bruce Lipton, that is, promotes the idea that genes and DNA can be manipulated by a person's belief, but not just their belief, it's their breath and the intensity or the belief or the mind's eye. What you have in your mind's eye come into fruition based on the breath level that you are operating at. A Russian biophysicist by the name of Petr Gurujev, research reveals that DNA can be reprogrammed by words and frequencies, such as, now if the Vedic text, which is the Sanskrit teachings, tells us that the Om tone is the sound of the universe. This is what they tell us. They tell us that this is the sound, exactly, God, the 25,000 year renewal of history within the 1 through 40, which is the degrees, the lesson degrees of the poor righteous teachers of the Lord's tribe of Shabazz, that was given by Master Farah Muhammad and answered almost or nearly correct by Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He teaches us in the 1 through 40 that you have the 25-year renewal of history, which is called the Holy Quran. That is the same as the 25,000 year renewal of history, which we talk about is called a great year or great equinox, which is when the sun travels through the 12 zodiac signs every 25,920 years. Well, like we said, the breath, if you breathe in a 24-hour span, 18 breaths a minute, it correlates to 25,920 times, just like the rotation of the sun through the 12 zodiac signs. So hence the reason why you stay in tune with the zodiac and why the zodiac's astrological signs have an influence upon you. But when you go down to 3 breaths a minute and your pineal gland is fully activated and all your endocrine glands are fully activated and you become the Elohim at 3 breaths a minute, which is magnetic consciousness, and you have the thought in your mind, the visual picture in your mind, that is when you are able to attract what you want into existence. This is what they're talking about. That Dr. Or the Russian biophysicist by the name of Petar Georgiev, research revealed that DNA can be reprogrammed by words and frequencies, opening up a whole new arena in medicine. The experiment proved that one can use words and sentences to influence DNA. This explains how the body can be programmed by language, words, and thoughts. Oh, shit. There you go. Indicating that the human language or languages are actually a reflection of our DNA. In other words, language does come from Yahivahe, from Yahweh, from God. Because remember, Yahivahe, which is Yahweh or Jehovah or Yah or Jah, which symbolizes Tahuti, is your DNA. Jehuti, hence the Hebrew word for Judah, which is Tahuti, which is DNA. Yahweh, DNA. The scientists also proved the use of frequencies can repair chromosome damage by reprogramming DNA and found that the genetic codes follows the same rules of all our human languages. So when people say, "Oh, nigga, you making up words, or you ebonics, or you making up, you're trying to make up a new language," like when they was talking about Dr. York making up or doing new Nuwapic or Nubic, or he making up words. That shit coming from out the DNA. Ain't no such thing as nobody making up no goddamn words. See, this is what we're talking about. Genes are a biological tendency for expression. Changing our state of consciousness can influence, this is what we're talking about, using the breath to influence the state of consciousness, to change it, or even change completely the tendency for expression. So if you don't want it to be expressed, you can change it. You claim that, breast cancer runs in my family. For real? Well, you better run these damn programs of various words of affirmations and decrees and prayers in your mind. When we do this, our code can actually be rewritten and a different manifestation can be expressed. So we're not the code, we are the writers of the code. Hence, your God. Yes, and God can do what he wants, when he wants, and how he wants. Yes, he can. He helped Gilligan get off the island. Yes, he did. So we know that the all is mind and everything is mental. But the mind is an abstract thing. We know that it exists because we are able to see images and visualize in our head, in our mind's eye, as they refer to it as our pineal gland, if it's not calcified. We can also, okay, think about it. We can also change up the frequencies because the breath is the mind in action. I've spoken about this before. The breath is the mind in action. So, yes, the mind might be abstract, but the breath is a biological, physiological fact. It's a fact that you breathe in. I can't see your mind, but I can see your damn stomach and chest moving in and out. I can feel the air going in and out if I put my hand up to your nose. So we know that the breath is the mind in action. So if you want to change the mind or put the right thing in your mind, you have to utilize the breath to tap into the different states of consciousness to make what you want come into fruition. See, 1/3 of all healing occurs without anything other than having a positive thought. See, this is the deepest shit you can get right here, the realness. And this is what we was trying to convey to the knuckleheads yesterday on Sonetta platform. And what I mean by that is that we have to begin to start utilizing what we have. See, if I let your ass off in the woods, you ain't gonna have no motherfucking candles, no incense, no altar, no glass of water. So all that shit sounds real nice when you got that shit. But if I put your ass in the woods, when a lot of niggas talking about they want to go incognito, they want to go underground, they want to get off the grid. If you're gonna do all of that, then guess what? You ain't having no candles, no incense, no oils, no charcoal, no sage, no altar, none of that shit. Now the mind becomes the altar. That's the Holy of Holies. And you have to deal with that. And the way to deal with the mind is through the breath. This is why they tell you to calm your ass down. Breathe, nigga, breathe. So as you breathe, you calm down. And now you can think. But you can't think when you're all emotional, hyperventilating and shit. Think about it. Think about it. Oh, that's special ed, y'all. I don't know nothing about that shit right there. That's old school. See, this is what we have to do. See, and this is what they found out. John Cartwright, January the 12th, 2007. Nearly, 12 years ago. They said sound breaks the light barrier. Now hold up. I was taught as a 5%er, that thought travels at 24 billion miles per second or 24 frames per second. Light travels at 186,000 miles per second. And sound travels at 1,129 feet per second. Right or wrong, self? Is that what you was taught too? Right, 1,120 feet or 1,129 feet exactly per second. So what happened is that they said nothing can travel faster than light except for sound. So see, this is where sound can tap into what is called tachyon energy. All right. So sound, which travels at 1,120 feet per second, right, can travel faster than 1,186,000 miles per second. This is a claim of some U.S. physicists who say they have designed an unusual waveguide to make sound move at a superluminal speeds. Sound often comprises numerous superimposed waves of various wavelengths. At certain points, this constitutes waves can all combine constructively to produce a pulse, which moves through the medium at a velocity known as the great velocity. In a normal dispersive medium, the velocity of the waves is proportionate to the wavelength, resulting in a group velocity that is slower than the average velocity of its constituted waves. But in a anomalously distributive medium, one that becomes highly absorbed or attenuated at certain frequencies. Velocity is inversely proportionate to wavelength, meaning that the group velocity can become much faster than light. Indeed, the group velocity of light has already been shown to travel faster than the speed of light in a vacuum. But until now, superluminal acoustic waves has existed only in theory and would require the group velocity to increase almost 1,000,000 times over. William Robinson and colleagues from the Middle Tennessee State University in the United States has managed to produce faster than light sound. However, by putting a sound pulse through a surprisingly simple waveguide inside a loop filter, splits the signal along the two unequal length paths, and then recombines it to produce large amounts of anomalous dispersion. As they interfere with each other, they replicate the shape of the original pulse, only further ahead. This gives the impression that the sound can travel further and thus faster in the same space of time. Robinson showed that such split path interferes can also occur naturally with a sound source is located near a hard wall. Some of the sound reaches the listeners directly, and some reaches the listener from a slightly longer path as it bounces off the wall. Therefore, he says superluminal sound is an everyday occurrence, although it is mostly too subtle to notice. Proponents of Einstein's special relativity needs not worry though. The underlying waves that makes up the pulse remains at superluminal velocities, so no information, matter, or energy actually travels faster than light. The effects is same as the observed in previous electrical or optical experiments. Robinson's told Physics Web the only somewhat startling difference is that the acoustic waves making up the pulse move so much more slowly than light. All right. About the author, John Cartwright is a reporter for Physics Web. Now, this is something in which that we have to understand. And this is the reason why they say that we are a walking, this is what it means by the word was made flesh. But Christians take that was only Jesus. Well, in the Holy Quran, Surah 7, it says Jesus was asked the question by Lamans about man, and it says man is the breath made flesh. Man is the breath made flesh. The breath symbolizes the sound. All right. Because oftentimes we are audible. We make sounds when we breathe. Sound in water at 7 hertz spontaneously generates DNA. One test tube had DNA in it, and the other test tube was empty, and DNA miraculously appeared. Hence the saying, made in the image and after the likeness. The Elohim. Hence, DNA, remember, is Yahweh, Yahuwah, or Yahuwah, Jehovah. So this comes from Dr. Luke Montagnier in 2011. He says DNA in water at 7 hertz. 7 hertz, remember, 7 is the God number, right? 7 is the God number. Spontaneous generation of DNA. So water, sound in water at 7 hertz can produce DNA. Your body is 75% water, y'all. So the sound, remember, we just talked about the beliefs of epigenetics, epigenetics. Sound. You can reprogram your DNA through words and frequencies. So sound in water, use 75% water. So that means the sound that you make, the Om sound is the universal sound in which that, according to the Vedic text, is what produced the Big Bang, or that's what the sound that resonated after the Big Bang that scientist speaks about. Some don't believe in the Big Bang, but hell, I believe in the Big Bang because shit, when you have an orgasm, hell, that's a Big Bang, you know, for most men and women. And from that Big Bang, you can produce life. So I know that there's a Big Bang because of the orgasm tantra experience in which that we as men and women can experience. Make sense? All right. So, right, they call it orgasm, Big Bang, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, shit, go back to Boomerang, bang, 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 bang. You know, or either go to Usher's song, you know what I'm saying? whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's let's get it on. Oh, sugar. Let's get it on. All right, so you know what I'm saying? Sexual healing, baby, is good for me. So there it is, you know, shit. Marvin done told it, shit. All right, so right here, we know that sound and frequency forms geometrical shapes. All right, exactly. Chimerica forms geometrical shapes. If you take sand particles and you place them on a speaker and play the music, the words in which that is stated through the music, the beats will form geometrical shape. So we know that shapes are formed by sound frequency. This is an example of 345 hertz, 1033 hertz, etc., etc. So we know that sound and frequencies produce geometrical shapes, hence DNA at 7 hertz, hence your body coming into existence, hence your creator, God, in G is the 7th letter made, and the 7th letter symbolizes completeness. We just gave you the secret. Just gave you the secret of it. Well, Masaru Emoto, he gave you the secret. He said within water, there's 4,400 channels. 440,000 channels, excuse me. So 440,000 channels in water. Channels of what? Channels of memory. God damn. This is the reason why you pour water into any vessel or container, it can remember the shape of it and it forms right into whatever you pour it into. That's how malleable it is. And you have that same water within you, 75% water. Like we said, just like the earth is 75% water, or 3/4 water, you 3/4 water being 75%. The other 25% is dense, the bone structure mostly, the flesh, most dense part of yourself. But even then, even within the bones, you have 22 to 25% water. The brain is over 90% water. Your blood is over 90% water. Your spinal column is over 80% water. Your liver is 85% or 82 to 85% water. You are an aquatic being. You are an aquatic being. Yes, it can change. Remember, sounds, frequencies can change DNA. We just seen it at 7 hertz. So think about 528 hertz, which is the hertz frequency of love. 528. It correlates also with the C note, which actually is the base root chakra. The devil. That's the devil. That's all it is. The root chakra, base chakra. Base, hello, can you go? Death row, what the brother knows. Once again, back is the incredible. You don't know nothing about that. That's old school right there, goddammit. That's PE. But here, water has 440,000 memory channels. And so he proved it. In other words, the indigenous people around the world, the Australian Aborigines, the Native Americans, which are the Aborigine indigenous Americans, Moors, the Africans, all have said that water has spirit. This is what they're talking about. Scientifically, that was proven by Emoto, Dr. Emoto, scientist. 440,000 memory channels. So what they did was, of course, took water, wrote on these sheets, put a piece of papers or whatever you call it, sticky pieces of paper, and they froze the water after they wrote on them, and then took it out. And after, as you see here, after various, after a very, a length of time, sometimes it was weeks, as you see here, day 27. But as they took them out, they examined them under a microscope and found that the one, like it says, I love you, was a 6-pointed star configuration, like a beautiful snowflake. The one that says, I hate you, looked discombobulated, looked like just mess, no shape, structure whatsoever. All right. So it says Dr. Masaru Emoto from Japan, for the last number of years, has been doing some truly revolutionary work with water. And see, he passed on, so he laid salam upon Dr. Emoto for doing this great work. What he is doing is researching the effects of human thought, emotions, and intentions. I think he passed like almost 2 years ago. Direct attention on the structure of water. The source for this section is in his book, The Hidden Messages in Water. Truly enlightening book. Is a good book. His tests involved him sending specific thoughts to water and getting others to do so. And then he freeze the water so that he can take a look at the crystal's form and examine the relation between the energy, thought, emotion sent to the water and the crystals that are formed as a result. Amazingly, he found that when positive thoughts, energies, and words are directed to the water, they form beautiful, highly coherent crystals. What was sent to the water? Thoughts, energy, words. Sound, y'all. Sound. And it changed the water to beautiful, highly coherent crystals. 6-pointed star configurations. Beautiful. Whereas when negative anger or hateful thoughts and emotions are directed towards the water, and in some cases with words directly, he found that there was no more coherent structure and that the crystal froze with no sacred geometrical pattern. In other words, there was no coherency. This shit looked discombobulated. Looked like a blob in water. It turns black and dark. Wonder why these niggas can't comprehend this information. They haven't been saying positive things to themselves. So therefore, their shit, the water looks shitty inside their bodies. Hence, they full of shit. What is going on with this water crystals is that when an individual thinks a certain thought, speak a certain word, or feels in a certain way, the energy is oscillating the human energy field, which restructures the geometric pattern within space according to that energy. Then the frequency of that energy resonates through space, the ethers, the akasha, and it restructures the field in accordance with our energy, and this restructures the field, the space around the water molecules, because atoms are 99.9999% empty space. Then when the water is flash frozen, it freezes along the geometric pattern created in the space around its molecule by human thought, emotions, and intentions. Words. And when he seen from the images the highest emotion of love, kindness, joy, and gratitude creates highly coherent geometrical patterns in the fields, which creates crystals that are truly perfect, beautiful, and harmonic. When resonate those emotions within us as we observe them. So if you resonated love, kindness, joy, and gratitude on a daily basis, the majority of your time, your water cells, blood cells as they are, plasmic cells as they are, will look 6-pointed star configurations. Highly coherent crystals, beautiful. However, if you was growing up and your mama or daddy told you that you ain't gonna be shit, and you believed it, and you said to yourself, I ain't shit, and you believed it, then you are full of shit. And you got to change the geometric patterns of that. And you change that by words, thoughts. In other words, the mind, breath, and thoughts. The word made flesh. Here it is, heavy metal music. Look how fucked that is. You don't want no heavy metal music playing. Or when you say, you make me sick, I would kill you. Look at that discombobulated shit. Hell, even the name Adolf Hitler, the way that people feel about him is how that looked discombobulated. But love, kindness, and joy, look at that 6-pointed star configuration. Beautiful. Beautiful, God damn it. That's how you want to look. So you have to start saying positive affirmation, decrees, and prayers on a daily basis. The Buddhists chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. The ancient Egyptians chanted Nu Puk Nuk. I am that which that I am. Which becomes Iya Asher Iya. And Asher is Saw, which is the God in which that was spoken to Moses. Because Moses spent 40 years in Egypt. The Prince of Egypt. As he was biblically, right? In the book of Acts, it says that Moses was trained in all the ways of the ancient Egyptians. So his God was Saw. So when you see Iya Asher Iya within the Hebrew text, and it's saying that I am that which that I am, no, what it's saying is I am Saw. I am. I'm the Lord of the perfect black. I am your divine soul, which is sleep until the resurrection of Kundalini or Set strikes the pineal gland and reawakens me, and I transform into Heru, the Christ, Kurdes. The Sufis chant La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. That's what the Sufis chant. La ilaha illallah. Allah is one. He has no partners. So get you a chant. Read the book of Psalms. Chapter 1 and 2 has the ability in order to remove negativity if it is read on a daily basis. These are sciences that you have to learn. You have to learn. The human body is based on these frequencies. So we know now that sound and energy, prana, light, thought, is what formed the human body into existence. Sound, in particular, geometrical shapes. What was the sounds based on? Well, they was based on hertz too. So the human body, we find that a genius brain frequency is between 80 to 82 megahertz. Brain frequency ranges between the average person's between 72 to 90 megahertz. Right? So that's what the normal brain is, which is 72 megahertz. And the body cycles at the average of 70 hertz, and the brain at 72 hertz, as well as also the heart beats 72 times per minute. The human body is at 62 to 78 megahertz. The human body from the neck up is 72 to 78 megahertz. The human body from the neck down is 60 to 68 megahertz. Thyroid and parathyroid glands are 62 to 68 megahertz. Thymus gland is 65 to 68 megahertz. The heart is 67 to 70 megahertz. Lungs are 58 to 65 megahertz. The left lung is smaller than your right lung to make room for your heart. And while the lungs are fairly similar in size, the human heart, which is the size of your fist, though locally located fairly centrally, it tilts slightly to the left, making it take up more room on the side of the body and crowding out the left lung. The liver is 55 to 60 megahertz. Pancreas is 60 to 80 megahertz. Cold and flu starts at 57 to 60 megahertz. Disease starts at 58 megahertz. Candida overgrowth starts at 55 megahertz. Receptive to Epstein-Barr is 52 megahertz. Receptive to cancer is at 42 megahertz and death begins at 25 megahertz. So we are actually in electromagnetic scalar waves, star particles, sound frequencies, a walking thought form. That's all you, buddy. Okay, that's all you. So, all right, we're gonna end this for the night right here. We've been on for a while now. Appreciate y'all coming on, and as we always say, continue now for days, weeks, months, and years to come. We're moving towards our most cherished goal of health, wealth, knowledge of ourselves. Every action, enterprise, and endeavor in which that we wish to be involved is bringing increasing rewards. We're moving closer toward the oneness of God and guidance and the full release of our higher inner selves. And yo, we out of here, y'all. Peace. We love y'all. Oh yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. No doubt. All right, we're gonna come on back. All right, not tonight now. All right, we're gonna come on back. So just be ready for us. You know, I gotta give shout outs to brother Mike. You know, he hooked me up with this leather copper hat right here. You know, this joint is fly. You know what I mean? When I did the gathering up the gathering, you know, with the God frequency joint with brother Panic, Baba Phil Valentine, you know, Sister Lanani, my wife, as well as also with Sister Khadija and brother B.O.B., you know, so that was and his cousin, you know, so that was a fly event. It felt like a homecoming up in there. You know what I mean? Felt like a real homecoming, y'all. You know, so you know, we'll be back. All right, we out, y'all. We love y'all once again. Peace.